Hello everybody, it's Lion from LionBricks.com. Welcome back to building a Lego city. In today's update we will be building the police station. I started things off by just designing and building a couple of sections of the building, like the door entrance and a section of the facade, just to figure out what I'm doing to help me later on. And I noticed that the steps protruded out quite a bit, so I actually pushed this building back by an extra 2 studs just to make sure that there was enough space on the pavement while still keeping things compact. And then I pretty much just started throwing down pieces onto the layout. Of course the ground floor is built on site, as these are not modular buildings, they're all custom, and so the ground floor does always need to be built directly into the city. In terms of the colour scheme for this build, I wanted to sway away from the cliche Lego police station design where you've just got these massive white structures with blue windows and then it's just like call it a job done. So what I decided to do was go for a little bit of a more realistic design, add a little bit more detail and colour into it. But to be honest, I'm not basing this off any design that I've seen in real life, I'm pretty much just building whatever I want. So what I went ahead and did is make sure that I included a little bit of blue, since I think that's a classic colour to add into a police station. I decided to use some dark blue since I feel like that has a little bit more of an authentic and more interesting colour than the standard blue. And then I did build the majority of it out of white, but that's mostly unseen as it gets covered up by other buildings. And basically the only white that you really see on the front of the buildings is the border and a couple of pillars, just to kind of represent the main structure of the build. But then all of the details in the build are mostly greys, and it would be a little bit boring, but I did make sure to add a lot of texture and a lot of detail by using all of the various techniques, like the snot technique, just placing bricks on their sides, just using a variety of texture bricks just to mix it up a little bit. And I basically tried to avoid leaving any sections of the building that were just plain bricks, except for the white sections of course. And then I didn't want to push the blue colour scheme too much, so I just sort of added in accents of my dark blue here and there to represent sections of the window or the logo, which will be in the future, and I think it worked out really quite well. Let's talk a little bit more about the specific details of this build. On the ground floor I have built this really cute little arch. I'm not sure if you see this in many realistic builds, actually in real life, but I saw a couple of builds online that incorporated this and I just thought it looked really cool. It gave it a sense of authority, so I decided to add that into my own. And then I started working on the next 2 floors. I built these on my desk as I usually do because it's a lot easier to build it there, and I pretty much just made my standard template out of plates for the main floor, and then I just started carrying the design up that I had kind of already built. I pretty much put the front of the building on top and then just filled it in with bricks. In the future I will be adding more details to one side where the railway is, adding in things like texture bricks, windows, stuff like that, but I can't really do that until I decide what the interior is going to be like, because of course there will be some connection between where the window is on the outside and what's on the inside, so I'll likely finish that off in the future when I do interior for this building, much like I will likely do for my fire station. I also built the roof. This is another flat roof design which I think is very appropriate for this kind of building, and I just built this design on top, which I think is pretty interesting. It's nothing too spectacular. I did make one mistake by actually leaving one brick the wrong way around. See if you can spot that one, but I'm pretty pleased with how this turned out. I didn't put anything on top because I wanted to ask you guys what you think I should put on top of this police station, so comment down below your ideas for that. But yeah, once I'd done all of this, as you can expect, I just went ahead and placed on the remaining floors into the city itself. And with that, it was pretty much a job well done. I do have a couple of bits and bobs that still need filling in, like the roof I mentioned earlier, and unfortunately I don't have all of the pieces that I need for the window design that I'm planning on doing, but all of those details and many others in the city will be filled in a future update, as I will be buying all the Lego at once. I'm just kind of holding back a bit because of COVID, the delivery is a little bit tricky, and also buying it all together does save on delivery costs anyways. But yeah, that is pretty much everything that I've got for this update. It's a little bit of a shorter one since I'm just focusing on one building, but I think if we keep to one building per update, this will be done in no time at all. I'm really loving how this build looks, and I'm really loving how the city's looking. Now that we're adding a little bit more buildings to it, I think it's going to really come together, and I can't wait to sort of enclose the railway to reveal this really cool little tunnel in between, and maybe even add a monorail in the near future as well. But anyways guys, like I said, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like and a comment, and until next time, thanks for watching.